Premier League for you.
Hey guys, what is going on? Payne here once again, and welcome back to another episode of my Manchester United career on FIFA 14. And kicking off this episode, Manchester United take on newly promoted QPR in the Premier League. There was my starting 11 for this one, sticking with that 4-3-1-2 formation, allowing Mata to slip in just behind Van Persie and Wayne Rooney playing up front together. And after our performance in our previous fixture in the Premier League, which you can see in my previous episode against Newcastle, I was confident that I was going to get another decent performance out of those two players. There was no reason not to. Even though Van Persie didn't score in that game against Newcastle, he was there, he was amongst it, he was in the mix of things. He was pretty much the main cog of that game, putting everything together and just making sure that we got the decent result at the end of the 90 minutes. So as we all know, when new teams are promoted to the Premier League, they have like this weak side to them, that they're a bit nervous, even though they've been in the Premier League before and they know what it's all about, they know what the crack is and what to expect against teams like United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and they have like this sense of nervousness, this weakness. But QPR, they're not a team to be taken for granted, especially with Harry Redknapp in charge. So I knew straight away, before we even kicked off with this game, it was going to be a battle against QPR. And I did rest Michael Carrick. I wanted him nice and fit for that fixture against Wolfsburg later on in the week. Maybe, just watching back the highlights, maybe I should have actually started Michael Carrick, because whenever he's started for me so far this season, in this career mode, again, he was like Van Persie in that Newcastle game. He is a main cog in that Manchester United side, even in real life. Can't believe it's not Scholes, you know. He is a good, solid central midfielder who has great vision. He knows how to pick out a player that's making a run off the ball. And I think with Carrick not playing this game, it had a big effect with how he was going to perform and the outcome of the game. We had so many chances in the first and part of the second half as well, but we just failed to convert them into chances. Mata, to be fair, he didn't really show his worth in this game, unfortunately. I desperately wanted those 3 points from this game against QPR. At the moment in the league, as it's looking, I know it's still early days, we find ourselves 9th, just below Manchester City. Liverpool, they're top by 6 or 7 points, something like that. And it's going to be a bit of an uphill struggle. And these are the games that we need to be winning, really, against QPR, against Southampton, who we play in the Premier League next. That is our next fixture, and then it's Wolfsburg, that's right. But they're the games that we need to be winning to make sure that we're picking up those 3 points instead of just focusing on the big games against City and Liverpool and Chelsea and Arsenal. This was one of those scrappy matches against a team like QPR at Old Trafford, and I thought with 85 minutes gone of the game, 5 minutes remaining, I thought they was going to get a late winner. Thankfully, Phil Jones came in there, intercepted, but it still went out for a corner. The danger still opposing Manchester United. Were QPR going to get a late winner? The ball still in that area that we needed to get out. Ashley Young in the way, hit the through ball, found Raphael surprisingly, and I could see Danny Welbeck making the run, but Anayo, is that how you pronounce it? Anayo for QPR dispossessed the ball for Manchester United, and look at Danny Welbeck. He is a hounder. That's what he does best, chasing down the ball, but it just didn't work out for Manchester United in this game. We just pick up 1 point, and here is the league table as it stands. As you can see, Liverpool 20 points, Manchester United on 14, so that's a total of 6 points behind Liverpool so early on in the season, and we certainly don't want them going on a good run of form if we're picking up draws and losses. So United's next fixture at St Mary's against Southampton was going to be crucial. We needed those 3 points. I know I always go on about it, but we want to be challenging for the title this season. I want to win the Premier League with the team that I have. We should be doing it easily with the likes of Mata, Rooney, Van Persie, Vidal. We should be winning it. No excuses whatsoever. We should be showing no mercy to the likes of Southampton and QPR. Take a look at this as well. Van Persie could see Januzaj making the run, still onside. Went for that finesse shot on his right foot. It's not his best foot, but I thought maybe I could have curled that one round the keeper. just wasn't going to happen. He stayed rooted into that position, the keeper. He knew what he was doing, and he managed to parry that one away. Danger clear for Southampton for the time being, but Manchester United straight back on the attack. Attack, attack, attack. That's how it's got to be. And just take a look at this for some passing game. This is what I love about FIFA. The freedom that you're allowed. Van Persie found Mata, who could see Van Persie making a run off the ball. It was just perfect. It was lined up for a goal. Keeper pulling off a brilliant save, stopping Van Persie from opening up the scoring. And Raphael, wow, can't believe he missed that. Again, I did go for the finesse shot. I think that just hindered me from actually opening up the scoring. So the game at half-time, 0-0. Could we get a late one to go in with that psychological advantage over Southampton? The ball goes out for a corner. Unfortunately, we didn't. And come the second half, right down to the 80th minute, Southampton on the attack. Mayuka just a whisker away from opening up the scoring at the St. Mary's and putting Southampton into the lead. And they were getting closer and closer with every attack. And Rami, my centre-half, who I brought in the summer from Valencia, he is from Valencia because I didn't do the update, gets himself sent off in the 93rd minute and gives Southampton a penalty. That's right, Southampton with a penalty in the 93rd minute, right on the dying embers of the game. De Gea, you better save this, because a point is better than going away with absolutely nothing. And at this point, I would have took that. Mayuka for Southampton stepped up to take this. De Gea went the right way. Thankfully, Mayuka missed it, went way into the crowd there. What was he planning? What was that all about? And again, another draw in the Premier League for Manchester United. That's back-to-back draws now. We should be winning games like this with the likes of Mata, Vidal and Van Persie. I could go on. With those on the pitch, we should be winning games like that. But anyway, we had to move on. We had no other option. We can't go back and replay that now, can we? It's just how it goes. So our next fixture, midweek, against Wolfsburg at Old Trafford. And it was a time for me to freshen up the squad a bit. Yeah, I was sticking with Rooney and Van Persie up front and sticking with that 4-3-1-2 formation. But I did start Fletcher and Fellaini in that central mid role instead of bringing in Carrick and Vidal. I thought I'd give them a bit of a rest. I did actually say earlier, didn't I, that I was going to rest Carrick for this game, but I decided to go ahead with playing him for that Southampton game instead of this one. And I thought I'd give Fellaini a bit of a chance because recently he's been pestering me in the inbox saying, I want a game. And what does he go and do? 20 minutes into this game against Wolfsburg, he gives away a penalty. It's just not going my way at the moment, is it? With this Manchester United career for the first time on the PS4 for me, I need to sort things out. I need to find that flair that I once had back in FIFA 13 and the current gen of FIFA 14. Is that immobile, however you pronounce it, stepped up to take the penalty, made it 1-0 away from home for Wolfsburg. They were in the driver's seat for this game. Could Manchester United get back in this one? Fellaini was very lucky that he wasn't given a yellow for that challenge that he made in the penalty area, or even sent off like we saw with Rami on the weekend against Southampton. But we just had a small price to pay of going one down. Yeah, there was still the second half, but I wanted to make sure that I got an equaliser before that half-time whistle was blown. And Banega picks out Van Persie, totally onside, and what a belter. What a finish from Robin Van Persie. After Van Persie has finished his celebration, going to the United fans, you'll see the replay and see how it all went down. Take a look at Banega, how he crosses that ball over the top on the outside of his boot. Watch the ball curl. Van Persie, one touch, and then on the volley with his left foot, just smashes that and finds the top corner. So, equaliser, we're going to watch that. We're going to watch that replay again. I thought it was a smashing goal. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, I know it was over the top of the defence again, but you have to do these sort of tactics. You have to take advantage of them, especially if you're a goal down against Wolfsburg and it's an important game in the Champions League group stage. So I did get that equaliser that I was looking for before the half-time whistle was blown. And then we got a corner. Van Persie almost did make it 2-1 there with that finesse shot. He just got the angle wrong. Took the corner for United. And Fellaini getting his afro all involved with that header. Trying to redeem himself after giving away that penalty. Almost did as the ball hammered against the post. So half-time came and went. It goes so quickly nowadays, doesn't it, half-time? Almost as if it's only 5 minutes that they have in the locker rooms. So in the second half, it was time to turn up the pressure on Wolfsburg, and they were feeling it. We had that corner, Van Persie took it again with his left foot. Rooney smashing that post for Manchester United again. It could have been something like 3-1 if Fellaini's header had paid off in the first half, and that shot there from Rooney paid off as well. And look at this as well from Van Persie. Went for the cheeky Van Nistelrooy-esque chip over the top of the goalkeeper, but it went into the Stretford end instead of actually going into the back of the net. And Ashley Young picking up that through ball pass from Wayne Rooney, took the shot, keeper parried. Van Persie was there again. He just flicked that off his left boot and trying to seek out the top corner. It didn't pay off, unfortunately. Still 1-1. Ashley Young, what a busybody in this game. Very happy with his performance. And fired that ball low and hard at the keeper, who parried once again. He couldn't hold on to the shots that we made. And Van Persie was the guy laying in wait, just like a predator, ready to snatch its prey. And with such power, force that ball into the back of the net. I'm surprised there isn't a hole in that top corner. United in the lead for the first time in this game against Wolfsburg. Could we hold on to this with just 5 or 6 minutes remaining of the game? Coup for Wolfsburg. Got the equaliser. 2-2 at Old Trafford with 5 minutes to go. Could United turn this one round back in our favour? Could we get a late winner just like that 99 Cup final in Barcelona against Bayern Munich? Could Manchester United get those 3 points to add to the group stage? There was appeals for offside, and when you look at the replay, it was a hard decision to make, but obviously the goal stood, and the final score was 2-2. So we just walk away with a point, but we've still got another 3 games to go in the group stage. And there we have it, guys. That is the end of this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed, and I will see you all soon back here for more Manchester United career on FIFA 14.